Welcome back. It's funny, I realized that I don't really have to have my headset on to do these, so now I'm without a headset. So, but I kind of wanted to break down price action from today. I'm really itching to get back on next week when practice moves back to a normal time. But I think I wanted to talk about uh, goals, setting goals, because I know a lot of people, uh, when they get into this, they're like, "Oh, I want to hit profitability. I want to hit 10,000 a month, or I want to take a payout." And it's kind of same thing for throwing wise. It's like, oh yeah, let's say my next goal is to hit 16 meters in the shot put. It's good to have, ideas and goals like that, but you don't just say that and then you magically get there, right? It's how do I get there? I feel like that's better things to set forward. So let's just say I want to hit 60 meters in the shot put. Okay. Some other goals, some smaller goals to help me get there could be if, my sweep leg out of the back isn't right. If I need to have that be longer, more to the left. Okay, I need to be over this more. I need to keep my weight back. Those are goals that you can go into every single day and fix. You can't just go into a day and say, "Oh, I want to throw 60 meters." You're moving around blind there. And the same thing for trading, right? If I want to make 10,000 a month, okay, what are the steps to get there? Blah blah blah. You need to make this much each week. Now that's more the mechanical side. But let's say your problem is, not taking trades. Obviously, that's a big one for me. And so one of the things that I'm gonna start doing to help me with that is I'm going into a session, I'm going to take a trade. Granted, that's a little bit looser than do this exact one Q right, but it's still something, smaller goals to get you to that larger goal. And so another thing is not setting a fixed time frame for that big goal. So let's say you want to make 10,000 a month by end of the year. Not by end of the year, but let's just say by April. You don't know if you have enough time, not enough time, but you don't know if you put in the work, if you're even going to be able to reach that in that time. And so I just like to say, oh, I want to hit this, but I know these little goals that I can work on every single day are going to help me to be there. Cool little 2.5 minute rant. Okay, let's get into the market. 15 minute. Looks like we pushed up. Did we tap into it? We didn't tap into it. Oh shit. If this falls, I'm crashing out. I just realized I can't see any of the things over here. So, okay, well, now the headset is back here. Let's put the headset on then. Let's put the headset on. Well, that was kind of pointless. Okay, mark out the gap. This, not really counting that. Boom. So, boom, push down. Possible manipulated down here. That's what we saw yesterday. Boom, closed above, retested. Boom, pushed higher. Just didn't push all the way higher, but granted, this was MLK Monday. So, boom, big sell off, swept all of that. Souped. Obviously, there's probably some low, probably some PD array. Obviously, this giant fair value gap, probably a larger one that goes a little bit lower on like the hour, 4 hour, but boom. So we push down, boom, order block right here, changing the state, boom, kind of holding that. So if I get closure really above here, I want to push it higher. I think we are ready to start pushing it higher, fill this gap, maybe 25, 50, and then go for all-time highs. So boom. Yeah, so we're holding this. So boom. We are at 9:15 candle. What are we doing? We push down, we kind of swept some of this. Doesn't look exactly like manipulation. Neither is that. Kind of souped it. Push down to rebalance this. Could push down, sweep out these lows, then go higher, but we'll just have to see it market open. Boom, sell off. We swept something there. I think that's the 26 candle. 27, 28, 29. That's the 30 candle. That's crazy. Okay, that actually makes some sense. So, boom, we pushed up. We rebalanced this range right here. Took some liquidity. We're holding this larger order block. Push it back up to discount again. Okay, we soup. We change the state lower. Okay, we take the low. Boom, push it back up. Take the low again. Soup it. Change in the state. Absolute rippage. I'm not taking this right before market open because what? We have liquidity down here, liquidity down there. Could have been a little dangerous. And so now I'm looking for possible points. I barely missed that, so probably, ooh, we didn't. We kind of swept out that high, pushed it back. Okay, what are we looking for? We're looking for discount. We're looking for discount of this range to possibly hold. Okay, we're in discount. Boom, absolute rippage. Boom, changing the state. Now we're closing higher. Want to at least see that get taken. Boom, we did. Okay, we are bullish. We are really bullish now. Actually, let's see what the different. Okay, so we just swept London high. Doesn't look like we're affected by that. So then really Asia high. And then what is this? The new week opening gap up here. Boom, turn it off. Oh, this is going to take forever to set up. Where is, okay, right here, boom. So now we have some targets higher for possible entries. And obviously, you know, right after market open, if you see, okay, we pushed up, we swept on that, we pulled back to discount. Okay, we're respecting discount, right? We get a close above. Okay, you could anticipate this closure above down like here, right? So you could see that, boom, there, and then quickly trail it to be safe. But that's more of a scalpy move. Okay, boom, soup, push it back to discount again. But this time, that's the first fair value gap. We're kind of holding that. Okay, push back up to discount again, the opposite way. Boom. Damn, no soups in here. That's crazy. Usually we get a lot of soups. Swap that, pushed it back to discount again, holding this order block. And then another change in the state confirms higher. Swept it again. Okay. So if this was manipulation to send us lower, then this is just a fair swing to change in the state to then push it lower. Do I think we're going lower? Probably not. That confirms we went lower. And so you see when I was like, okay, I don't really want lower, but this is the model right here. Is boom. Possible manipulation. Okay, boom, wait for the pullback. Boom, see the turtle soup, CISD. And then what are we looking to take? We're looking to, I like these lows down here. I like obviously some off maybe in there, but if we're heavy, we should just tank this. Or not. Boom, CSD retest. Okay. Could just continue ripping higher. Nope. Boom, soup it again. Boom, we took that eye. Okay, so that invalidates all shorts right here, right? And so this was just a rebalance of that. So we rebalanced, boom, closing higher again to then take out these highs, but we are souping this. So could be careful of rebalance again. Yep, boom, rebalance candle. Actually, did that even rebalance? I don't think it did. No, it didn't. That's the rebalance candle. Now, get closure above, send us way higher. Okay, boom, we're sending it lower. So this was change of the state right there. Boom. I just seeing this, there's nothing screaming clear because we're in a range right here. Once we break out of this range, it'll get super clear. So boom, back to discount. Boom, this is fair swing for longs. Looks like it was here. So we held. Boom, we're getting barely closure above there. Doesn't look like we're souping that. So I want us to just continue to push higher. Yep. Boom. And so this is the hard part. These are the hard days where Okay, we're sitting here. We watch it push up. Okay, could see possible shorts. You enter shorts here. Boom. Then you get stopped out here. Okay, boom. This doesn't really look like, well, if you believed that this was, boom, changes it there. But then it's like, okay, is this the best spot for longs? If we might just take this high, no. Boom, push back discount. So this is the best spot for longs if you believe longs are the long-term move. And the best place for shorts up here if you believe the shorts are the best move. But so change of state, we violated that protected high. I like longs in here to then send us way higher. Boom. Almost a retrace to that. Boom. Testing the order block. Get a closure above. Nope. We're closing inside. Big soup. Big soup. This will be a big order block if we get a closure above. Nope. So then, boom. See exactly what I said? If longs are just going to here, you getting an entry up here, not very good for the risk to reward if your stop is even down there, it's less than 1. So what do we do? Possible manipulation. Boom. We're slow grinding down. We souped that. We're closing inside of this order block now. Granted, 50% of it is holding, so that's good. Could see this be another change in the state. But since this is a change of state, so this low, if it was souped, should be protected. So that should hold. This is in discount. This is probably a good spot for longs right here. Ooh, bad wick. Bad wick. Don't like that. Disgusting. But I still like possible longs in here. I feel like, I mean, we just took out London. Now we're accumulating. We'd have to manipulate to send us lower. Does this look like manipulation? That's a really big manipulation leg. I don't think that's the possible top right there. Boom. Souping that. Closing below this. Boom. Sweeping that. Closing below. So now what are we looking for? Possibly this low. Unless it's just a really big fair swing for longs right here. So these are the days that I definitely would struggle on live trading because I'd see all of a sudden see like, okay, cool, shorts. Where am I looking to take profit? I'm looking to take profit here. Okay, we didn't hit it. And so this would either be a lot of break evens or a lot of stop outs. And so now if we're down here and we think, okay, what lows do we want? Maybe these lows. This is the best spot for shorts. It's kind of okay. But if we think longs are the long-term move, down here, changing the state, probably a pretty good spot. We are touching that value gap. Nope. Boom. Souped it again. Closure below. Really closure below. We swept that. Boom. Souped. Boom. Okay. Big leg down. Could be just rebalancing this to continue lower. But since we're just chopping, I want to wait till we get out of this. Where is 11? Oh, we got time. We got time. Now this, get a closure below. This is a soup. And this would be the CISD of it. For shorts, is this the best idea? Taking it right here? We just swept that liquidity, so not exactly the best idea. Boom, never got closure below. Unless this wick holds somehow. Nope. And so that's just soup, and then possible CISD there for longs. If we hold here, boom, so what do we do? Push up, we swept that side. Okay, boom. Looks like we could be possibly pushing to sweep that low. Boom, we swept below that candle because that's the candle that put in the high. Boom, we push it down, we swept that. So then this change in the state. We're not sweeping any of those candles. This looks like a possibly a good spot for longs. Time is on our side as well. Nope. Nope, not a good spot anymore. So then what do? We pushed up, we swept that wick. And so if you're entering, let's just say I entered here, the candle that took the high, boom, we took the low. Boom, what do? We opened, we took this high. So this probably would have been break even because I'm like, if we're just going to chop, then we're just going to slam it. But if we want higher, we're going to close and push up higher. So that definitely would have been a trade that I was break even on because it's like, okay, boom, put on a high, swept the low, then swept the high, then closed lower. Boom. So now, do we sweep that? Okay, boom, swept that, getting some closure below. Swept it again, right there, sweeping that. Was this 1020? This could just be a rebound. All right. Is there news today? There probably was news today. Let's look it up. Forex Factory. Let's take off this, all except for USD. Take off yellow and no folder, apply filter. Trump speaks at 1. All day WEF annual meetings. Alrighty. So if we look at this kind of crazy 1021 candle, boom. What do? Higher time frame. We put a low. Okay, then we swept it again. Boom, we changed in the state. Okay, we're closing above everything. Really would love for this to just continue to rip forward, rip faces, and take everything. And so on days like this, where it looks like we're possibly ranging, there's a story in every single one of these candles. See, boom, volume imbalance. Boom, reacted off that, swept that. Boom, push it down. Okay, push it back to discount. Boom, swept some liquidity. But this is the main fractal of boom. We're here, low. Okay, we took the high. Okay, we took the low again. Took the high. Okay, boom. Took the high. Took the lower. Boom, boom. Took the low. Now what do we want to do? Take the high. Boom. Push it down. We have a low in. We have that high in. Swept the low. Looks like we're possibly coming for that high again now. Possible manipulation leg to send us higher. Right? If you think about accumulate, manipulate, distribute, and rippage upwards. This is deep premium. Boom. Big order block. Holding most of this action right here. Volume imbalance. Damn, there's been a lot of volume, big and volume imbalances. So closure above, no soup there. Boom, soup there. What are we doing? Retesting the CISD. Possibly coming back to discount. Swept. I really want to see us take that high at least before we push it down. Boom, took the high. Boom. Okay. Possible targets up here. Obviously that high. We're in this area. Boom. Possible. What did I do? Okay. Looks like we still want to go higher. We're just kind of chopping here. Could push back down to sweep some liquidity, but I really would like to see that order block kind of hold. What in the hell is happening there? But boom, took another target. What is this printing right here? I'm guessing. Boom. Okay, we put on a high, swept the high, put on a low. Okay, boom. Didn't close above the high, swept the low. Now what are we doing? We're looking for the high. We're looking for that high to possibly be taken again once we took that low right there. Boom, low, boom, boom, push it down. Souped this, took the high. Boom. Then we push it higher, then we take that. It's crazy barcode action. Took the high. Does this look like manipulation? Not really. It's that big wick. Could possibly see us come back down to discount. Boom. Swept that. Okay. Boom. Not seeing very much there. Looks like we're just rebalancing this leg upwards. And I'm so hungry. I'm speeding through this because I'm hungry. Boom. Swept that. Okay. Again, we're getting some sweeps. Love to see a closure above there for changing the state. Boom. Literally called it. Damn, we are ripping from that. But back here, I see this. I see this is like the reversal signature in the fact that, what is it? Time and price, well, time in a macro, obviously, but price is right from this low, from this protected low right here. We're in discount. We kind of just pushed up, took some liquidity, back to discount. Okay, we're in discount. Boom, we have that checked. I see this low put in. Boom, swept that high again. Okay, looking for lower. Okay, we took this low right here. I see if we can get a closure above here. That's not an SMT. I want to see us run faces at least until EQ up here. But this doesn't look like manipulation. I want to see us absolutely rip faces. Boom. We get one candle, two candle. These look like decent candles, right? Not really confirming anything lower. Absolutely rippage candle. I like that as a possible. Boom. Do we actually even take the high? We do. We took the high again. Push back to discount. Damn. Damn. So we took the high again. That's really what I wanted to see, is that manipulation. Possibly could be 11:24. It's right before lunch. But going back over the possible trades, how much time? 21. Oh, this is going to be a long one. Possible trades, I like that. There's a lot of different short scalps in here that I like that could be possible to trade on. But it's like, okay, not seeing many soups in here to confirm really anything. Okay, boom. We broke out of this range right here to take that low. We took that low again. This is the same fractal. That is. Put in low, push back up a little bit. Boom. Push down, take it again. Boom. CISD, absolute rippage. So we accumulated, manipulated up, distributed up. Same thing. Literally same exact thing here. Put in low, boom, swaps it again, boom, distribute. So those are honestly some of the trades that I like would have taken today. Granted, this looks like it was a harder day to trade. And so this could be possible red day, possible break even all day. But, taking that over the course of a week, over a month, hey, the results are going to show. So that's just kind of it. Hopefully, y'all have a good day and see you next time.